In today's Growth Stock episode, we're going to look at Entheon Biomedical, a groundbreaking company looking to solve the problem of addiction as well as psychological problems with the use of DMT. I'm aware this is a bit different from something that we would normally cover. However, I think there's a great opportunity here, given that the problem that it's trying to solve is obviously very significant, and it should definitely take a place on your watch list this year. And on today's episode, I'm going to show you why that is. So if you've heard of the Joe Rogan Experience, then you've probably heard of DMT, because if you jump over to Joe Rogan's channel, you see that he very regularly talks about it himself. And as a man himself also trying to cope with addiction, it's a very interesting topic. So you see he talks with Russell Brand. Also in the past, he's talked with the likes of Mike Tyson, and he himself talks very regularly about what it is and experiences that people have had, benefits that people have gained from it. Coming over to the Entheon website then, what exactly is it that the company says that it is trying to do? Entheon Biomedical is pioneering a leading-edge addiction recovery solution that harnesses and optimizes the therapeutic potential of the DMT molecule. Entheon exists to invert the addiction recovery ratio, turning the untreatable case and lost cause from the norm to the exception. So what I want to draw your attention to is this article over here on the CDC, or Centers for Disease Control. This was a report done in December 2020. Obviously last year we had the coronavirus. Obviously the coronavirus is still going through much of the world. However, that had kind of a big knock on in the rest of the world. Over 81,000 drug overdose deaths occurred in the United States in the last 12 months, ending in May 2020, the highest number of overdose deaths ever recorded in a 12-month period, according to recent provisional data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Drug addiction is a very serious problem in much of the world, and not necessarily just hard drugs that are causing addictions, but obviously things like cigarettes as well, which many people try again to give up. But the company is saying that through using DMT, it's sort of like almost a guaranteed way for people to give up, whereas people who have given up smoking, etc., often fail again due to the kind of addictive nature of cigarettes. I want to bring you over to a recording of the Ellis Martin report, where the CEO of Entheon gives information on a clinical trial that was done.
What sort of research has been done in this regard to prove out your point?
The research is mounting and building every day, but a really convenient one that took place recently. So there's a psilocybin study done out of Johns Hopkins that worked on nicotine addiction. And for the first time, psilocybin was used on people that suffer from nicotine use disorder. And the success rate for that was phenomenal. It was like nothing seen before. I think it was in the 60 to 70% range of efficacy. And if we understand what the traditional success rates for other interventions are for smoking, we know that that's head and shoulders above what previously exists. And yeah, there's a lot of research coming out about the sort of mechanisms within the brain that actually dictate sort of what controls addictive behavior. There's a sort of a believed network called the default mode network that really does dictate what traditionally most people feel, think, and how they react to things on a day-to-day basis. For a lot of people that aren't afflicted by difficult substance use disorder or mental health issues, that regular patterning of thought can focus around really simple things like, upon waking up, how do you feel? What are you excited about? What are you not excited about? And like, how much stress and anxiety do you feel about that? For most people, we do operate on autopilot a lot of the time.
Okay, so as he mentioned, obviously from phenomenal success rates, but also looking at psychological disorders. I know that the US military are currently doing research into the use of DMT, or into the use of psychedelics, in order to help with effects of things like PTSD, which is obviously a very serious problem. So coming over to Yahoo Finance then, Entheon Biomedical is currently trading at 0.7. Okay, so currently is still a very small company at around $28.2 million. Now, this is why I think it has such great potential. Not only do I think that the project is very interesting and very pioneering, I think the attitude of the world towards addiction and how serious it is changing. And I also think that the attitude of the world towards using things like psychedelics, etc., to treat them is also changing, allowing more people into the space. So yeah, as I mentioned, this is still a very cheap potential investment in my opinion. Obviously, there's plenty of research you can do, and I'm going to leave links down below to various kind of articles available on the internet. At the moment, one thing that is worth considering. So here over here on Biospace, Entheon Biomedical announces ethics approval for first in vitro DMT study. Okay, so at the moment, this is great news. They've been given the approval to start the study. So it's obviously making progress, and there's a good opportunity here. But however, what would make me kind of be a bit cautious and hold back? So obviously, until the results come out, there's no guarantee of success. So in terms of where it's going to go in the longer term, you can't really be sure until the results come out. And there's obviously as well, you've got to look into government legislations in different countries. Obviously previously DMT, psychedelics, are listed as illegal drugs in many countries. Obviously, in terms of whether governments will actually approve the use of psychedelics in terms of medical care is obviously as well up for discussion. So these are things to consider when we're looking at investing into a company that has, one, I think, great potential, but obviously there's always the potential risk there that you might be diving into something that's so new and so unknown that there might be potential investment risk. However, in my opinion, what they're trying to achieve by reducing the amount of addiction, something I think is clearly a very big issue in the world, and something that has to have something done about it, because the current processes and the current systems in place are clearly not working, being that it's only getting worse and worse. And if it can be used to treat mental disorders, PTSD, etc., then even better. Now, this is obviously a very big problem, and if it can really break into that and solve that problem, not only is it a great potential way to see a good return on investment, but actually a really great way to see a lot of people find kind of help that they need. Not only is it a very big social problem and a problem for the individuals involved, but obviously it causes big problems for government, causes huge strains on medical services, and costs a great deal of money. All in all, I think a great opportunity and a great company to have on your watch list. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, something slightly different from what I normally cover in my episodes. However, a growth stock with some great potential. I also cover tech stocks and cryptocurrency on this channel, so if you would like, then hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening over there. So thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again next time with another video. Thank you, and bye-bye.